What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Friday Live with Lauren. You made it. If you're in sales, it's probably the end of the quarter. What are you doing watching my show right now? Go get on the phones, make those dials. You can watch the replay. We're not giving away anything, and that's okay because quota comes first. So if you're in sales and you can't watch today, watch the replay. But I have some amazing ladies joining me that I'm super excited to bring on and introduce to you guys. I actually had the joy of meeting these two women in person. Y'all, in person is back. But I met these two ladies in person and I knew I had to bring them on the show immediately. So if you're watching, start commenting. Tell us where you're from. We don't know you're here if you don't comment and let us know. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on Nicole and Romi. What's up, ladies?
Hi. Hey.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I'm super stoked to have you both here. I'm going to let you both do a little short introduction so that everybody can learn about you. They already know about me. So, Nicole, why don't you give everybody a little introduction about who you are, and then we'll jump into topics and get going.
Sure. Hi, guys. My name's Nicole. I am the co-founder of The Daily Drip. I'm here with my other co-founder, Romi Wallach, and we're really excited to be here today. Lauren, you rock. I was super happy to meet you in person at that event. And it is funny. Yeah. Like in live and in-person events and meetings are back. They don't always go super great though. So meeting you was a treat that night in particular, but yeah, we're really happy to be here. The Daily Drip is our platform. It's a media platform. So we provide content, programming, resources for the modern businesswoman. We have a lot of content and programming around personal and professional development, really kind of living in the gray where those worlds collide, and really trying to help tomorrow's business leaders get one step ahead. And the thing that makes our platform a little different is that we don't have in-house journalists. We don't have in-house contributors. All of our content and programming comes exclusively from local female professionals in our market. We're located in South Florida. So all of our content comes from local South Florida businesswomen. So if you read something you like, you hear something you like, you can go and connect with her, meet her in person, have a coffee, have a lunch, and really take the relationship a step further. And yeah, so that's kind of a little bit about us. And I'm super happy to be here.
Love it. All right, Romi, why don't you give us a brief introduction too, and also tell us what fun thing you just did.
Yes, I did do a fun thing. So yes, I'm the other co-founder. The other fun thing that I just did is I completed the crossing for cystic fibrosis. So we do an 80-mile paddle from Bimini to Lake Worth. We leave the beach in Bimini midnight on Saturday night, and we paddle until we find Lake Worth. It's a pretty
clarified paddle boarding, guys, like standing on a board, rowing across the ocean
on the board. And people ask a lot of questions about it and ask why. And I think if you meet somebody who's living with cystic fibrosis, or you meet the parent of somebody with cystic fibrosis, it becomes very clear how easy it is to get really excited to be a part of something where you can positively impact the community. So it's pretty wild to do something like that and then be on the same beach getting ready to paddle out with people who actually have cystic fibrosis and are taking on this challenge. Very humbling, very awesome. So yeah.
I love that. So the big thing I want to point out, if you're watching right now, these ladies are all about helping. Okay. It's about helping. It's about supporting. It's about giving back. Like, it's a local site, local women. Like, this is literally trying to put things at your fingertips that are tangible that you can actually go out and do in the world, right? Like, big, great things. So as you're watching today, please, 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 if you want to know something, ask questions, like comment, ask questions. The ladies will try to answer them if we can, always. Sometimes you'll ask some weird stuff. Let's just be honest. I got an interesting audience. But please, please, please ask your questions in the chat, and then go follow Nicole and Romi on LinkedIn, please, because LinkedIn is my platform of choice. And then thank you. Big shout out to our sponsor today, Producify. Producify. You're going to learn about them at the halfway show, but big shout out to Producify, get all of our stuff done. And then our charity partner of the month, Free Mom Hugs. Please go donate to Free Mom Hugs today. I'm going to drop the donate link in the chat. Y'all know I'm really not good at going into the chat while I'm trying to like be live, so I'll do it in a minute when the ladies are talking. But please go donate and do something good with that commission check you're earning right now. And if you're willing, share the show, because we always love the love. So without further ado, we got some fun topics. We got a lot of stuff to cover. So we're going to jump right into hybrid business landscapes, integration, storytelling, and personal branding. So obviously that's a mouthful. There's a lot. Romi's not going to take it away. You saw the face. Nicole's going to take this one away.
Romi, don't look so scared.
Romi's like, wrong person, Lauren. No, so
if you can't tell with the two of us, I'm usually in the hot seat and Romi's like my sidekick.
And they're like that in person too.
I like the little square. You leave me in the little square.
Oh God.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get started with hybrid business landscape. So tell us, what are you talking about when you say this, Nicole?
Yeah, so it's kind of like a new age problem that we're dealing with. We're all dealing with it. And basically what that means is, you know, in today's world, 10 years ago, we didn't really have this issue, but now 10 years of social media, of LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all these things, there's this new, we live in a hybrid world now. We have the digital space and the physical space. And what has happened in business, you know, there was a time when social media was very social and it was personal and it was for fun and it was all about your personal life. But today, you know, every professional has to have a digital persona, right? We all have to have some kind of digital footprint, a digital presence, because as they say, you know, if you're in media, if you're in business, you're in the media business today. You've got to show up in this digital way. So when we say hybrid business landscape, it's how are you showing up equally in both worlds, right? So when you go to a networking event, and you show up and you make a great connection and maybe take it to a one-on-one and then do that follow-up process. What is that? What's the translation of that digitally on LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever your social media platform of choice is?
I love that. And Romi, I feel like you're really good at events and kind of like making sure to integrate both, right? Like not just while you're there reading the room, working the room, but that follow up and that like persistence afterwards. How does that like play in for you with like your normal role too? Like you're not just the co-founder of the Daily Drip. You have another job that you work on as well. Like how do you kind of show up in this way that Nicole's talking about?
I love that you use the word persistent because I've been touted lately as being a stalker. Affectionately, I'm going to say affectionately referred to as a stalker. And I will say also that even in the process of building out the Daily Drip with Nicole, I've become a student of what she's talking about. When we met, the in-person networking was never really a hard thing for me. I really thrived in it. I enjoy it. I really get energized by other people. And to your point, my follow through, very, very good. Persistent is one way to put it. But what I started to understand was how to do what I was doing in person in LinkedIn. So if I see someone in LinkedIn the way I would see someone in a room, how do I connect with them? And what does that look like? Right. So you know, especially now you get bombarded in your messages. I was starting to see how do I make sure that people understand like same person you met in person is going to be the same person that's sliding into your DM to say, hey, like really want to get to know you. And then kind of overcoming the, well, what do you want? Why do you want to meet me? And I'm like, I was kind of taken aback by that because I was just like, you mean people don't just like to meet other people? Like, isn't that just why we're all doing this? But because so many people do it in a way that is uncomfortable or come in so hot in your inbox that like it kind of puts people's guard up. So I started to sort of understand and like navigate my way through how do I translate me in person to me in LinkedIn and then get that first, like, give me 15 minutes. Let's just have fun and 15-minute talk. Yeah.
Yeah. And let me just piggyback on that because that happens in person too, right? We've all experienced that used car salesman vibe at a networking event where that person just can't wait to talk about them and what they're selling. They have zero interest in building a relationship, getting to know you. Like those soft skills, those interpersonal skills, they're missing, right? And it's a lot easier to see how that translates in the social media world, where you get those auto-generated, templated DMs, and they're just hitting you at nauseam, and there's nothing really authentic there. It's not about building relationships. It's not about connecting. It's about selling before you even know the person, before you even know what their problems are, what they want and what they don't want. So we see it in person. We've seen it that way for years, and now we're seeing that emerge and translate in social media too. We just can't stop. We can't get out of our own way.
And I think for
100%.
me, like my approach to meeting people in general, and even when I network at any kind of event, I have no agenda when I'm meeting someone, because I honestly, genuinely believe that I can't possibly know what someone has to offer before I sit and get to know them. And there's no way of knowing what that conversation or that introduction or relationship is going to lead to beyond that. But I know that if we can just connect on some level, there's unlimited opportunities. If I preconceive or go in with an agenda as to something that I'm looking to get, I'm not going to get the results I want, which is forming the kind of relationships that are really going to open up opportunities and be long lasting. You know, these things will pop up in a year from now, maybe, but they won't if you come in hot, like I'm screaming at it.
100%. And I think so many people do it wrong. And I think we're getting so used to seeing it happen the wrong way. I popped into somebody's DMs the other day. They were too shy from 8,000 followers. And I happened to notice. So I reached out to a few people. I was like, hey, can you go follow this person? Like, if you're in follower mode and you're about to hit a milestone, it matters. I'm sorry, it does. So I reached out to a few people and then I messaged the guy. I was like, hey, just wanted you to know, like, I got you, like, you got over 8K. Congratulations. Like, it was just like a happy message. So I had no call to action. Well, he ignored me and he didn't respond. And then, like, later, things happened, whatever. Later, when he responded, he's like, well, I'm going to deduct points because you didn't have a call to action. And in my head, it's like, I don't want something from you. I was just trying to be nice.
And I think honestly, that's where everything gets lost in sales. It literally right there is this transaction. X plus Y equals Z, right? Like, where's your call to action? What are you here for? What do you need? What do you want from me? What am I going to get from you? And human connection is all has just gone somewhere. I don't know where. And some of the best business relationships I've had have come out of genuine human connection with those people. I would hang out with them if I had the opportunity. I genuinely care about their success and what their goals are, and if I can help. And maybe I'll get nothing out of it, and maybe I'll get something out of it. But it's about human capital, like building relationships. Like, I think somehow, some way, in this sales culture we're in, and social media now becoming just a sales machine, it feels like we've lost that. We've lost social networking. We've lost all that the purpose of this is for, right? And so I think the real win in next generation business development are the people who can come along authentically and are first and foremost focused on connection, not transaction.
And I think we've seen that transformation specifically on LinkedIn, because for the longest time, like, you would never have put something personal on LinkedIn. It was strictly business. Like, this is what I sell. This is what I do. I'm looking to meet. And you're noticing more and more, and it speaks to what I've always believed when it comes to sales, which is people by people. Like, none of us are out there doing anything revolutionary. Like, there's a million people doing what I do for a living, and Nicole and you, like, we're not, there's nothing revolutionary here, but people are going to do business with you because they like you, because they feel a connection, because they feel they can trust you. And I think there's been a massive shift on LinkedIn where people are personalizing it more. And I share a lot more about my personal on LinkedIn, to the point where I probably do more sharing on LinkedIn than I do in Instagram for a lot of things. But I've noticed that it's opened up really good relationships. It's not, is it generating business? Maybe not today, but it's generating a likability and a connection with other people that when they have a need and they realize what I do, they're reaching out and they're like, oh my God, loved meeting you and blah, blah, blah. I didn't even know what you did. And now I found out and I'd really love to sit and talk to you. I love that.
But you know what, Romy? It's building more than leads or sales opportunities. It's building mind share. And that's what everyone needs to remember in the digital landscape, that that's a tool to build mind share. There could be thousands of real estate agents, right? Like how many real estate agents do we all know? I have like five. I have like five in my own family, like, right? Like everybody's a real estate agent these days. And it's like, okay, well, what makes someone want to work with you versus work with another agent or go with another brokerage? Is how are you building mind share to the point where when people think about real estate, you're in their top 5 faces that come to their mind. How are you doing that? And how are you leveraging social media as a tool to do it? How are you leveraging your networking events, your relationships, and your conversations as a tool to just be front of mind and, in an authentic way?
And being front of mind is what's important, right? Because like Romy said too, it might not be for today, but it could be in the future. I signed a new client yesterday. And in signing my new client, he reiterated, he's like, I've been following your content for a long time. Y'all, this wasn't somebody that we've had a bunch of interactions, but he's been following my content that I put out for a long time. It was the easiest client meeting I've ever had. And it's almost like we already knew each other because I've been building the trust. And like you're saying, mind share. Guess who came to mind when he needed a recruiter? Ding, 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 ding. That was 9 times a day posting work.
And you'd already established like that likability and trust factor without even meeting that person. Like your content said who you were. It was a representation of who you are that made someone say, that's the person I want to work with. Like, I love what she's doing. I love what she's putting out there. This is someone I want to work with. And that's how you're doing it right on these platforms.
Well, thank you, ma'am. All right. So talk to me about business development and networking. This was your topic. So I really want to dive into when you're really focusing on business development and this portion of networking. How do you, like, we're all talking about what not to do, right? Like, there's people who are watching who are like, oh God, maybe I was that person, or oh God, maybe I'm doing that. Like,
we've all been that person.
We've all been there.
Say that.
What suggestions would you give to somebody who maybe they came off that way and they're trying to course correct?
Oh, interesting. First of all, I should say that when I met Nicole, I didn't even know that business development was a job that people paid you to do. Like, it was something that I just kind of did. It was something that I just like naturally felt very comfortable doing. I credit my late father for that. It was like people just gravitate. It was very easy to talk, whether it was the CEO in the room or the guy that handed him a drink. Like, it didn't matter. It was the same conversation. I think that's one key element, is talking to people as people, like, not getting freaked out by who they are. They're just people like you and me, but to that end, and especially because I do so much of it, I think it really just comes down to making those good connections and doing it in a very real way. Like, you should be the same person when you're out in a restaurant with a friend as when you're talking to somebody as a business prospect. At least that's how I feel. And I think that you'll see that when I interact, you're going to get the same person, and I'm always developing rapport.
And, I would add, if I had to give a tip to somebody, and I actually had this opportunity, I met this young kid. He's like 27 years old and he's in financial advising, like this poor kid, right? Like he goes into like one of the most cutthroat industries, right? And he's trying to build his client book and build his brand and build his network and everything. And he's doing all the right things, like he cold outreached me. I had won an award recently. And so I could tell what he was doing was going through all the people who had won that award with the same like opener and the same pitch. But I really have a soft spot for people that are in the start of their career or their journey, even if they're older and they're transitioning, I have such a soft spot for people who are starting out because we've all been there. And I think it's a really important thing for us all to remember what that felt like when we were once in those shoes starting out. And what does it take to give that kid 5 minutes, 10 minutes on a Zoom call and like hear him out and talk to him? And so we're talking and everything. And all he could talk about was financial advising and the products and services that they sold. He introduced himself and then said, and we can help you with your family planning and your life insurance and your retirement planning. He basically gave me a dissertation on what financial advising services looks like, what it is, right? So I let him go through it all because I didn't want to be rude or whatever. And I was just like, well, tell me about you. How'd you get into this? And he was kind of like jarred, like who stops and asks me that. I think he was just genuinely so excited he got me on the hook, like for the call, right? And so he was like, oh my gosh. And so he's telling me a little bit about his family, sports, where he went to college, blah, blah, blah. He moved to Fort Lauderdale, new to the area, all the things. And I said to him, well, what do you think is your biggest challenge right now? Like, what are you most struggling with, or like, what's the number one goal you're focused on right now? And he says, well, I'm new to the area. So I joined the chamber and I'm in a BNI network with my partner. So we take turns going or whatever. He's like, but I wish I found more places to get involved in and more communities. Like, I don't really know like what's out there, where to be and whatever. And I said, well, what do you like to do? And we had this whole talk. And I referred him and made 3 introductions to him to people who are in charge of different local organizations that I thought would be a good fit for him. I thought he would be able to connect with other strategic partners that can maybe refer him business or mentor him, but organizations he could get in. And this kid was shocked. I mean, he was just like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, what can I do for you? And I said nothing. And I said, I want you to realize that I'm taking this time right now to give back to you because I'm giving you like a little tip and a little lesson. And that is to lead with a give. Like when you meet someone and you don't know them and you're trying to connect with that person, the easiest way to get that connection started is to figure out what you can do for them, as small or as big. Who can you introduce them to? Who can you help them get on their path? And stop being so focused on what you need and what you're trying to ask for and what you're trying to get, but actually approach it with a give. Humans are hardwired to reciprocate. That kid's never going to forget. I mean, he is liking every post I make. I mean, this kid is like, he's texting me all hours, like asking me questions and asking for my advice, whatever. And he's super nice. And I really want to try and help him out. But like, I've done that with people who weren't at his stage. I've done that with people I would consider a colleague, where I really want to win their trust. I really want to win their buy-in. I would love for them to support the Daily Drip. I would love for them to be a sponsor one day or get involved with us. And so I don't go into it saying, here's everything the Daily Drip can do for you and all the ways you can get involved. And we really would love to have you. We can help you get exposed in this way, build your brand in that way. No, I say, what are you guys up to over there? Like, what are you doing? Like, let me see. Can I help? Do I know someone that I can maybe participate in what you're doing? And I really think it's that simple. It truly is that simple. Lead with a give. Start there. And in order to do that, you really got to be listening. You really got to be paying attention to what that person's saying and being critically, being a problem solver and seeing, okay, which way can I fit in to help in a small way solve this problem?
And I think to take it one step further, making introductions is I mean, I honestly think it's almost at the foundation of business development. It is definitely how I have grown and built my network of people, was connecting other really good people. But I think it's important to know that you can tell the difference between somebody that listened when you had a conversation and an introduction comes in and you're like, you totally nailed it. And the introduction comes in and you're like, I have absolutely no idea why me and this person would ever have a conversation about anything. Like, not even, and I say that in the sense that it's not, I will literally take an intro from anyone. And I don't want to necessarily put this on a platform like this because now I might get like bombarded, but I find value in meeting people, and I genuinely, you don't know until you have a conversation. But I've been in situations where somebody will send what they think is a referral, And this person gets on the call with me and they're like, I'm looking for auto insurance. And I'm like, well, I don't understand why you would call me. I've never sold auto insurance. And it's like, but that person that made the introduction is like, well, I made an introduction, and they're checking a box, right? Like, intro given, like I threw something at you. So I take pride in like really thoughtful introductions, like, and kind of a little outside the box too. Like sometimes I've made introductions where I don't even know exactly what it is, but I know you have to meet. Like, and you'll know why you have to meet once you meet.
Right.
But it does boil down to listening and paying attention and hearing, like, what are they looking for, whether it's on a personal level or in their business, and bringing the right people into their kind of sphere that are really going to have that positive impact. So
Love it.
yeah.
All right. We are almost to the halfway point. I told you it goes quick. Romy was like, it's an hour-long show. I'm like, you're going to be fine. I promise. Okay, really quick, before we get into halftime and all of that, let's talk about your next information session. It's the day before my birthday, y'all.
Happy almost birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. We're a few weeks out. Tomorrow is officially birthday month, so we'll be celebrating for the entire month of
I was
July.
just about to say, that sounds appropriate.
If you don't celebrate the whole month, you're doing it wrong. But yeah, can you guys tell us about your information session, where it is, what it's about, and who should attend?
Yes. So the Daily Drip is, like I said, it's a for us, by us media platform, right? So we're creating our own content and programming in-house, and we're doing it alongside local professionals. So if you are a local professional in any industry that would love to be amplifying your voice and sharing your expertise and your stories and learning how to create content, how to tell your story, how to build your brand and amplify your voice, there's a multitude of ways you can do that with the Daily Drip. So much so that we have to host these monthly information sessions because it's a mouthful. And so the information session is held at General Provision, which is a co-working space in downtown Fort Lauderdale, right by the wharf. So if you're in the South Florida area, we hope to see you there. It's a really cool space in and of itself. So even just getting to come to the space is a treat. And you'll get to meet other local professionals who are interested in amplifying their voices and learning the tricks and trades of content marketing, and looking to network and connect with other people. So we'd hope to see you there. It's a quick 60 minutes, but a good 60 minutes.
There we go. A great 60 minutes. And listen, I've been to one, but maybe if I can fit it in my schedule, maybe I'll pop down and pop in again. So if you're in Fort Lauderdale next week or 2 weeks from now, I guess it's 2 weeks. I just feel like my birthday is tomorrow. If you're in Fort Lauderdale 2 weeks from now, pop in and maybe you'll see me there as well. And then really quick, we're going to give some shout outs to all of these awesome people who came to watch. So hi, Chris. Sorry, we don't have any giveaways. Chris won 2 giveaways back to back. Hello. Look, you guys got some supporters, the best women. There we go. Hello to Cheryl. Hi, Melissa. Melissa's worried about the sharks, the new paddle boarding. She and I had a whole conversation
Have
about
you seen the
sharks.
viral video, or we're going to talk about that after?
We'll talk about it after the break. I have not seen it. I need to see it. Elizabeth said, amazing when you were talking about your crossing. Stephen always shows up. Hi from New York. Thank you, Stephen. Mark is local. I don't know if you guys know Mark. His wife, Randy, is awesome. Mark is local in Boca. What's up, Mark? Steven says that he absolutely agrees about being human first. People are more likely to like you if they sense that they can relate to you as a person. Business follows suit naturally. Steven always shows up with the best comments and questions. Steven, thanks for showing up today. Appreciate you. Melissa's here. She says she lives for this on LinkedIn. There we go, ladies. They are living for this. All right. Love your voices and perspective. Your content is a window into your mind. Use it to your advantage and show who you are. The mind share. Hi, Dad. Thanks for tuning in. Love you. Liz is also local. You guys should meet Liz. Liz comes and co-works with me. I'm actually at the one co-work in Boca sometimes. Liz, you need to come down.
Hey, Liz.
Liz, your comment is hilarious.
And then Liz says hi to Steven. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate you. We're going to have a really, really quick minute-long video for halftime. Let the ladies maybe like catch their breath. And then we'll come back for 30 more minutes. So we'll see you in just a second.
"69% of people say they'd prefer to learn about a product or service by watching a video compared to just 18% for text-based reviews. Video testimonials stem from something every company seeks out: trust. So how complicated is it to get video testimonials? With Producify, it's actually easier than you think. Our virtual producers can capture your testimonials from anywhere. Create your company video testimonial today with Producify.
All right, we are back. I'm going to bring Romi and Nicole on in just a second. I literally just broke my nail while I was sitting here on the break. What's going on? It's a Friday, y'all. Thank goodness it's a Friday. We're about to hit the weekend. If you're still watching, let us know you're here in the comments. Say what's up to Romi and Nicole. What's up, ladies? Welcome back. If you're watching the replay, thanks for joining. We have a few more topics, and I told you, Romi, it's going to go quick. So 30 more minutes. Let's get right into
Quick
it.
and painless.
What?
I said quick and painless.
There we go. There we go.
Love it.
Listen, my girlfriend Melissa hosts a 2-hour show on Saturdays, and it's an audio, so it's not live like this, but it's audio. And when I agreed to go on her show the morning of, I was like, why did I agree to do 2? And it was so quick and it was easy. It wasn't bad, but I was like, why would I ever agree to 2 hours? But it was great, and I want to come back. Melissa, let's do it again. All right, so let's dive in. Your network is your net worth. Yes, I know you all have heard this phrase, but I also want to talk about your platform is your asset.
Yeah.
Oh, not me. Look who's going to take it. Take it away.
Yeah, your platform is your asset. So I have worked with, and we have a lot of sales and business development professionals that are part of the Daily Drip audience base. We have an audience of approaching about 3,000 South Florida professionals. And about 60% of them own their business. And so when you own your business, you are sales department, you are the business development representative. And then we have a lot of professionals like Romi who are in business development for, large corporate firms, and they're running markets and such. And a lot of them, when we have these conversations, we talk about like the company, right? When you're working for someone, for an organization, there's a lot that they own rights to, right? But what they can never own rights to is your platforms, your profiles, right? So when you're working for an organization and you're in business development or you're in sales, every time you capture a new connection, a new follower, you get that person to engage with you more and you build your platform, you should think of it like equity in your home, right? The bigger your platform gets, the more engaged those people are with you as the human, right? The more valuable and the more of an asset you have, that becomes part of your value as you can get recruited, as you can take your career to the next level, take on a new position. So, if you have met that person in real life, you should be connected with them on social. If you have their email and contact information, you should be connected with them on social. And the other thing I think that's important when we think about a platform as an asset is the activity that you're doing online. I think sometimes we get so caught up in what we're going to say. Like, right, the question of the hour is, what do I post, right? Like, what the hell do I post? I never know what to post. And we rack our brains thinking about how to be compelling and authentic and create a post that's going to get a lot of likes and a lot of comments. But sometimes my activity has nothing to do with posting, and I'm out there engaging. I'm out there listening, and I'm showing people that, hey, I was here and I saw that, right? So I'm liking other people's posts. I'm commenting on them. I'm commenting on the comments. I'm going and connecting with those people because I don't know who they are, but I like what that comment was and I like who they're following. So I should know them, right? And so I'm out there engaging. And that's not an activity that people typically delegate or build into their time, but you should. So the same way you schedule and block time to do email, I'm sure we all do that, right? We don't want to live in our inbox, but even though we can. But like, you should try to schedule time just to engage, just to let people know you're there, and people really appreciate it. Because if you think about how much time you invest on what should I post and all the anxiety and like the stress that goes into that, imagine the appreciation that that person has for the fact that you read it, liked it, made a thoughtful comment, engaged with some of their other commenters. Maybe you even felt so compelled to share it. Like, that person, again, leading with a give, that person is going to feel so appreciative that you resonated with something that they put a lot of intention into. And so I think, take that time, build your platform. It's yours. Like, no company can own that, and it can really take you far.
I love that. And really quick, I want to point out, if you are on LinkedIn, you can download all of your LinkedIn data. You can download everything you've ever done on LinkedIn. Download it, save it. Like, if LinkedIn blew up tomorrow and you didn't have LinkedIn, you want to have all of your contacts. You want to know who you were connected to. You want to have their information. So please don't just be one of those people who's like, oh, it's just going to be there tomorrow. Like, store your stuff, have ways that you can get your stuff. Like, my best content pieces don't live on LinkedIn. I have notes, I have files, I have things. So make sure that when you're using these platforms and you're turning them into your asset, that you're actually saving this stuff too, that you're not just letting it only live online. Sorry, have to point that out.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, are you kidding? Platforms can crash. Things can happen all the time. And that's why database building is so important too. And your social media platform can be an extension of that, but building that database, having that data and leveraging it, very, very important.
Y'all, I think I shot myself in the foot. Look, Lauren, come to the show as the guest tomorrow. Melissa.
Rosie, let's go,
long weekend.
Melissa, you put me on the spot and I'm live. Okay. I'll be really tired, but I'll do it. I'll come live in the morning. Send me an invite. We'll do it tomorrow. Mark says that his wife Randy is watching. What's up, Randy? I just had to give them a shout out. I can't believe Melissa just did that to me. Love you, love you long time, Melissa. I'm gonna nominate you two for a 2-hour show soon. Liz said that we should get together in July and grab dinner. So maybe we could make this like a big group thing. Anybody in South Florida, you want to get together in July for my birthday? Well, I'll go to dinner and we'll meet.
We're taking Lauren out for her birthday.
Listen, y'all don't have to take me out. Just come toast with me because I'm gonna have a shot of tequila and we're gonna have fun.
I love it.
But yeah, if y'all want to all do a birthday dinner, let's go. This sounds like we just made some plans on the live show. And y'all, you could be doing this. I met these two ladies randomly, and look at where we are right now. So, and the other thing, I was already connected to Romi on LinkedIn.
Yeah. That was really cool.
When we like walked up to you, I was like, oh, let's connect on LinkedIn. I was like, oh, we already are.
I know you.
Hi.
We were friends and we didn't even know it.
Yeah, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. You two ladies were the most fun at that event, I will say.
I mean,
we try. Sometimes those events cannot be so very fun. So it's great to always bring the party and be known for that. So now people usually get excited when they see Romi and Nicole are here at the event.
Well, I want to tag along, so me too. Okay, let's talk. I'm sure Nicole's going to take it away. So let me put Nicole up front for our next topic.
Oh, I love
marketing and hybrid integration systems and processes.
If Nicole wants to use me as her guinea pig, systems and processes have been.
I actually think Romi should lead this one.
The student became the.
She did.
I'm not going to go with master because that's like just cray cray. But I have definitely learned and appreciated the importance of systems and processes and the level of organization that is required in order to, especially when you do a job like we do and we do business development and you're out there and you're meeting so many people, and same with LinkedIn, it is not easy to keep up with all that follow-up as the volume increases. And I'm going to half a dozen events minimum in a week, right? And I'm meeting great people. But if I don't have some way of like coming home and tracking that and putting it somewhere and kind of having some system as to what the email looks like and all of that, I'm wasting my time, to be honest. Like, I'm going to these events I'm meeting people, I take their business card, and if I don't do anything with it, then I don't really know what the point is of me spending all of those hours doing the things that I do. So I have learned a very high degree of appreciation for having systems and processes in place. And Nicole's laughing because before I started working at Now CFO, I worked in financial services. And for anyone that's ever worked in that space, there's not really a framework. There's not really the kind of support that you need. It's like, you just get thrown to the wolves. It's like you're sitting in your chair, you're like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do today. Like it's really like that. And then when I started on working with Now CFO, they provided me with all of these tools and resources and opportunities to be able to really be effective in my job in a way that I did not understand prior to that. And now it's like, I don't know how people walk around without this stuff. Like they're just like chickens with their heads cut off, running all over the place. And I did take it a step further, and I did an awesome program that really helped me kind of fine tune how to be organized digitally so that my notes and desk didn't look like a hurricane had like whipped through my office. But just how to even empty my inbox and what that looks like, and not leave things hanging out there because I didn't know what to do with it, and where to put that information and where to put attachments that came in, and having that all organized. So for me, I've developed my own systems and processes by leveraging a lot of the tools from my company, but as well, like through a program called Productive Power, which is hands down my favorite. It was definitely like the best investment in myself for sure.
Love it. Invest in yourself, people. Invest in yourself. What was it called again?
Productive Power, Brett Spodak. I'm like a major, I don't get anything, guys. I'm just telling you, it's legit. It was a life changer. It's one-to-one coaching on hard skills, like not just manifesting, not all sense and stuff, like actually implementable stuff. And I love it. Listen, I do my sage. I believe in all the things, but I think there's something to be said for like implementable skills and tools.
I love that. Okay. Nicole, are you a inbox zero type person?
I am not an inbox zero type person, but I do have a lot of folders, and I am very hyper organized, and I too am a huge systems and processes proponent, because what systems and processes allow you to do is they keep you consistent, which is the name of the game in sales and marketing, right? Especially content marketing, right? You're not going to make one post and change someone's life. You've got to be posting for however many months consistently before you really build that mind share, right? So it keeps you consistent, the systems and process, and it helps your output be that much more, right? Because you're not doing things from scratch, and you're not having to figure out what you should be doing. You're just in autopilot and you're going, right? You can 10x your output. But then the third thing systems and processes allow you to do is take that time to review and see what the hell worked and what didn't work, so that you can double down on the stuff that's working. When you have systems and processes, you can track results. You can see if you're winning or losing. You can see how and why, and you can do more of the things that help you win. But you can't really extract trends and patterns and see that kind of thing and make decisions based on information if you don't have systems and processes, if you're just like winging it every day.
You're throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Correct.
Well, Nicole couldn't believe that when we first met, every email I ever sent was from scratch. Like there was no template. I would be like,
I was horrified.
But I will say, so I have a system and process for, let's say, a post-sales meeting with a beautiful templated follow-up email that is standard. What I don't think I will ever template is my introduction emails, because I'm personal in those, but some people do. But like, I really take the time and write about each person in very specific ways. And so that is the one thing that I don't think I could ever do, but I do. Yeah. She was like, I don't understand. How do you start from scratch every time? I'm like, yeah, just from my brain. She's like, your brain's going to explode. Like, you cannot continue like that. It's like, okay.
I mean, listen, having a template to start from is great, but you have to remember that last part. It's to start from, right? Exactly. You got to customize it. I have templates that I use with my job search strategy clients, and we use TextBlaze. I'm a TextBlaze partner. I could not live without TextBlaze. If you two aren't using TextBlaze, you got to try it.
I don't know what that is.
It's a text expander. So like I could give you my Zoom link with like 2 clicks on my keyboard. Always. Boom. All my calendar links right there. Boom. Anything. I'm obsessed. But I also have templated emails that I share in folders with my clients. So they have these emails and they can type a few keystrokes and then my email pops up for them. But it's a place to start from. You have to read it and edit it for you. Because if you send it out and you don't edit it,
Yeah,
you're in trouble.
It's not good.
You just killed it.
Like, and don't get me wrong, things happen. I've sent things with a typo or something, and I mean,
Sure.
life goes on, right? That's the other thing I think I want to point out here is like, y'all, if you do something and it wasn't like something happened and it was wrong, like, okay, cool, move on. Nobody's beating themselves up about it, but you're the only one who's even thinking about it right now.
It's
And
true.
it happens, and we're people, right? We're gonna make mistakes. I put a calendar invite and I put the wrong first name for a client. I put complete instead of commercial, or I did something like that, and I got called out on an email. I caught it and corrected it before I saw it, and I was horrified by it, but it happens. It's not catastrophic, like we've all moved on.
Oh, I know. And that's the other thing. Sometimes people just beat themselves up over things. It's like, y'all, nobody else even thinking about that anymore. We
Right.
have moved on with our lives. I'm thinking about it's about to be 5 o'clock on a Friday. Where are we going for dinner? All right. Next topic. It's our last topic. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. I can't find it. Whatever.
What do you want
Do we have anything left on systems and processes, or did we cover that one? We're good.
No, I feel like we did.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about, I don't have this as a topic right now, and I'm putting you two on the spot a little bit, but I met you both at an event, and obviously we're talking a little bit about more in-person events and things like that. So if somebody is watching this and they're like, you know what, Lauren, I want to go meet 2 really awesome women, where do you recommend people go to look for these types of events? Like, where would you tell somebody to go find somebody like you in their city? Like, where do you go?
Do you want me to go first?
I know what you're gonna say, so go for it.
Okay, so I'll say what I usually say, which is, and it works for me, but I would say that the majority of the events I go to are somehow connected in the nonprofit space. At least in South Florida, the nonprofit space has a very strong professional presence. There are tons of good-hearted people that want to spend their time meeting good people, making good business connections, but also doing something that is giving back to the community. And there are so many that align. And for me personally, these are the people I want to be around. I want to be around people that care about giving back. It's a really big deal for me. So anything from Junior Achievement, Children's Harbor, 211 Broward, like the list could go on, and I hate that I named because I don't want to leave anyone out. Hands on Broward. There's
Children's Hospital.
We love all of you. We love all of you. We'll link you in the comments later.
Doing the best work ever. But the point is that they're constantly hosting professional networking events that have this great cause attached to it. And so it's sort of, to me, I'm like, it's like any kind of half marathon I ever ran. I always ran as part of a charity. I'm going to do the run anyway. Might as well raise a couple bucks, right? Like there's no reason to not kind of bring those two worlds together. So I personally spend a lot of time at those types of events because I feel like I'm going to meet the kind of people that I want to be around, both professionally and personally.
And I would say, to add to what Romi's saying, I think the Daily Drip does a lot of collaborative programming with local professional associations. So we go out and we try to find women's professional associations that are industry specific. Like we've worked with Florida Association of Women in Law. We've worked with the Florida Institute of Certified Public Accountants, National Association of Women in Construction. Ms. Esquire networking group. So if you are looking to connect with either, a lot of these associations, you don't have to be, for example, an attorney to be in Miss Esquire. Maybe you're an accountant and you work with a lot of estate planning attorneys. So you're trying to connect with more adjacencies. So a lot of these associations, you don't have to be specifically in the industry. And it can help you kind of really narrow your networking down and get in front of those people in like a lump sum, like big bulk way. But the other thing I would say too is when you join these things, like if you get involved in a nonprofit, if you join a professional association, hell, even if you do a BNI, like get involved, get on the board, get on the committee, be part of the ambassador team. Because when you're in a leadership role in these organizations, it truly 10x's the types of connections, networking, conversations. It thrusts you in front of key people just by nature of the work you have to do for the organization. So don't just be a member in the background, like get involved, because it's really going to help you with your networking. And then the other thing I don't think we do enough of and like give credit to is like get a hobby, go join a sports team that, you know, if you played soccer in college, like go join like a men's league, go paddleboard across an ocean, go do things. You'd be surprised the people that you meet.
And do you know that I had a client today that I met through the crossing. Like we had a call today, and it's been months that we met, but doing things. And I think, sorry to cut you off, Nick. The other thing I was going to say about that is that in addition, yes, take a board seat or take on a committee, but there's enough out there. Don't get involved in something because you think that's where you should be. If it doesn't feel like something you can really sink your teeth into, find another one, because you won't get out of it what you need or want to, but people can also tell when you're just there picking up a seat. Like there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'll say like there's a lot of great, like the YMCA, for instance, they have Women Know Why, which just started, which is really awesome. And they're putting together a bunch of new programs and opportunities for professional women to come together and get involved in the community and volunteer, but also has that networking component, which is awesome. Circle of Wise Women for junior achievement, like for the females, like there's a lot of things like that, which are really engaging. And there's a lot of opportunities to get into committees so that you can really get involved. It's not just getting together and having like a cocktail night. Like they're actually doing things. They have some great events that they're putting on that are really fun to get involved in.
Legs. I want to get involved in legs.
Executive Golf Society. Legs is awesome.
Love legs.
Look, and Liz is dropping some. Take Stock in Children, Books and Music Festival, McEwen Scholarship. Okay. Look, Tara said, I agree. You can tell you are an amazing coach. Nicole, this was while you were talking, I think.
Oh, thank you, Tara. That's so nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, definitely get involved. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say go to thedailydrip.com. If you live in the South Florida area, head to our website and go to events. We partner with a lot of these associations, nonprofit organizations, professional networking groups, and we promote their programming, their initiatives. So head to the website, get involved, follow us on social media. We post about all the events happening in the area. So if you want a cheat sheet on where to be, that's a good place to start.
Something fun at the end of July in Lauderdale by the Sea Outdoor Music Festival, and it's a fundraiser going to an organization called Scuba for Good. It's like free to attend. Just buy raffle tickets if you want when you're there, but it's going to be awesome. So that'll be a good event. You'll see that on our site too.
Okay, so tell us, Romy, about the viral shark video.
So it's really interesting. Obviously, people are always asking, like, "Oh my God, do you see sharks? Are you scared of sharks?" It is the ocean. They don't like go on vacation when they find out there's 180 paddlers that are going to come across and like be like, "We'll check out and be back when you're done." So it's a very real thing. This is my third crossing. I've never actually seen one while I'm paddling, but this year, prior to the crossing, especially, they actually really educate us on how to handle shark encounters, like how to react in the moment, what that looks like, all the different behaviors, like really, really good stuff. Because the reality is that 9 times out of 10, the problem is that people aren't educated, and most shark encounters actually go very well. People don't realize that sharks actually don't look to eat humans. They're not interested in it. And once they realize it's not fish, they're not interested. Anyway, that being said, we were all very well prepared. And my friend Malia, and now it's like viral, literally, she's been on every news channel for the last 2 days. She was paddling and her husband sees like this big fin come up behind her. And he just looks at her and he's like, he looks at the captain first and he's like, "Stop the boat." And he looks at her, he's like, "I need you to just come to me. Just keep paddling. and it's right behind her, like literally right behind her. She gets up beside the boat. She stopped paddling. The shark just kind of swam, went under the boat. It was a 10-foot hammerhead. And then what was really cool is she's like, he turned on his side and his eye was like looking at her, like just played with her, like tapped the board a little bit. She took 10 minutes just to kind of chill.
Nope.
And then back in the water, and she finished the crossing.
No thanks.
Hell no. I am out.
Romi, you can have it. I'll be on the beach waving when you come in.
I saw a dolphin and baby dolphin, so I'll take the dolphin for sure because I'm obsessed with dolphins. That's why. So I love paddling because I genuinely love the sea creatures. Like when we were in Bimini, we swam with the nurse sharks and the stingrays. Like it's awesome. Like they literally come right up to you, and you can see, like even as the shark comes up, like you just gently press at their nose and they turn around. Like there's a whole interaction.
Okay, hold on. I got to show you this. Happy Friday. Thanks for showing up. Melissa says, no way.
Yeah, I'm with Melissa.
And Liz says, that's a whole bucket of nope for me. And then Melissa says, I would have run over the surface of the water just like a jet ski. What's up, Tanya? Thanks for showing up. All right. Romi, after the show is over, please go in the comments of the show and post a link to the video so we can all see it. Ladies, this was fun. If you watch the show, you know this is coming. If you don't watch the show, you're about to be shocked. We do a fun Friday fact at the end of the show. So, ladies, Nicole, that chose you first, give us a fun Friday fact.
What?
Anything you want. I had somebody come on and do an accent one time. Like, you can do anything you want. Give us something fun about Nicole so that we can laugh or
No,
learn
it's about
something.
me. I thought you wanted me to literally give you like some kind of statistic or something.
No, and look, all
I
of
didn't
these
do my homework.
all these people are still talking about the shark.
Yeah, they're still. I mean, that was a lot you just dropped on them. The shark thing is a lot.
I mean, I have to look for the link now. So while you give your fun fact, you go
A
look
fun
your
fact about me. Gosh, I don't know. I didn't know that you did it.
She's just all sorts of awesome. That's a fun fact.
I am awesome. A fun fact about me is I'm from Toronto. And Romi is from Toronto, and we didn't know this when we first met. And we go to lunch, we meet each other at an event, like whatever. Go have the lunch. Find out not only are we from the same town, but our families know each other. Our nephews play hockey together, and the whole bit. So you just never know what's going to happen when you're networking. Who you're going to be meeting?
You never know.
See, that was a perfect Friday fact.
Nicole was the beginning of my stalking career. That's the truth. That's where it began. Nicole gave this like awesome presentation. I just walked right after. I'm like, I really want to have lunch and be friends. Like, can we do that? And she's like, sure. And then we had matching heart tattoos, so we knew from that moment on.
Yeah, we had like so many weird similarities. It was kind of like,
Romi,
wow,
what's your fact, Romi?
Well, I feel like crossing the ocean is sort of what I'm dealing with right now. I just finished my third crossing.
How much money did you raise?
I came in third place for women competitive solo, which ain't bad since the person who came in first is a professional world record sup paddler, not a middle-aged woman, mother of two who works 2 jobs and all the things.
No, but you have to tell them the spread, how small that was.
She was a few hours. She was a couple hours ahead of us because what happened was the weather forced some of us that were behind to have to relocate on the water. So Sheila, that's fine. We did the same thing. And I did the whole thing last year too. I think the thing I'm most proud of, to be honest, more than anything else, is that thanks to platforms like LinkedIn and people that have been following and paying attention, got behind me, and I was able to raise over $30,000. And I was the single highest individual fundraiser by more than double the second person. And only $5,000 behind the number one team, which had like 20 people on it. So I feel really proud of that because the hundreds of families that get help, I get to meet them and I know what this means. So it's very humbling. That was like probably one of the best accomplishments for sure in my life, is to be able to make.
How about the fact that Romi's been the number one individual fundraiser 3 years in a row? All 3 years that she's done it, she's never raised under $10,000. How about that?
Oh my goodness, Romi, you're incredible.
Well,
you're incredible.
It's incredible.
people have been
Snaps for
really
Romi. Snaps
super
for
great.
Romi. Great job, y'all. It is 4:00. That was
Thank
a
you,
really fast
Lauren.
hour. This was really fun. I loved having you both on. We're
love
definitely going to go to dinner for my birthday, whether you like it or not.
100%.
Everybody's in.
Doing it.
If you're in the comments and you want to join us or you want to fly to South Florida, let's go. And with that, y'all, this was fun. Thank you for watching. Thanks again to Producify for sponsoring the show today. Go follow Producify. And with that, we'll see you next week. Bye.
Guys, thanks for